What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Smooth Blaze. And first and foremost, I would just want to thank you guys for hanging in there. But I'm so excited for this new chapter. We are moving towards a series called A Moment of Clarity. This is the first week of part one. Now, the theme for this week will be Stimulate Your Mind, Craig. However, before I get to that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my page so I can get all the love I need so we can continue to keep pushing this information out, this new material out so that we can keep doing our thing. But let me go back to what I stated previously. Stimulate your mind, Craig. Now, we all have seen Friday, and in the movie, you know Craig and his homeboy, talk to each other, amongst each other about different things, saying, okay, man, look, hit this joint, bro. You ain't got nothing to do today. You ain't got nothing on your list because you already done got fired, so you might as well enjoy what you're doing on this Friday, right? So once he gave that man that joint, once Craig took the joint and decided to do it for his first time, what he did was took away the aspect of his own mind. He allowed another person to control him on a mental aspect of it. Now, let's get into it. Now we have to ask ourselves, what do we value most? Our priorities and our values, which one lays out more of a better foundation for us? For me, I believe both are intertwined, and you have to have both. However, as we go through actually defining what these things are, I went to Webster and it gave me a couple selections. The first one starts off with priorities are something that is more important than other things and the need to be done or dealt with first. Another definition of priorities deals with the things that someone cares about and thinks are important. That's interesting. All right, we're going to give you a few definitions regarding values. Now, values first a person's principles and standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in their life. Let me give you one more for values. The regard that something is held to desire, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. Now, as we go through life and really evaluate what we're doing right now, whether we're in between jobs, whether or not we gratefully got a job during these hard times, whether or not we getting these stimulus checks or getting any type of benefits that's helping us sustain ourselves, let us ask ourselves, what are our priorities? What are our values? Some examples of good ones would deal with faith or your religion. Either one. I know people are faithful, they have faith, but they don't care for religion due to the personal reasons, which I can understand. Money. Are your priorities money? Do you value money? Because money is a tool. It's not necessarily something that you should hold as a guide, but some people do. Power. Power is essential when you are a businessman or even in a situation where you're trying to push a message. Power can come from the pastor. Power can come from a CEO. Power can come from an entertainer. It's just variations of persons that have power. But we have to ask ourselves, what are our priorities? Is power our priorities? Is values our priorities? What are they? And the key thing is resources. Resources can be tangible and intangible. And when I say tangible, things that you can touch like cars, jewelry, equipment, buildings, etc. Intangible objects could deal with recognition, goodwill, trademarks, copyrights, things of that nature. Now, as we reflect on all these examples, the question for ourselves is, are we organized enough to even consider what we want to do with our lives? Are our priorities and our values aligned, organized, so that we can attack the goals and aspirations that we're dealing with. I give you an example. For me, my goal is to be an entrepreneur, to be in real estate and dominate. So I've had this dream since I was younger, so it's nothing new to people that really, really know me. But those who don't, ever since I was younger, I was like, look, I don't want to work for nobody for the rest of my days. That's not going to happen. And I was determined. So I went through the prerequisites of going to college, graduated twice, got the job that I wanted. Then life happens, get laid off, and then you do different things just to make sure that you got money coming in. Then you get to the point where you somewhat get back on there, you get laid off again. So as through life, we go through different things and different levels of controversy. But one thing we have to realize is that I'm still gonna be a real estate guru, period. I may not be there now, but the mindset is already there. So what I've done to make those steps to reality is a good question. What I've organized is, okay, what do I need to do now? I need to stack my money up first and foremost. I need to get my business name solidified, which I've already have done that. And I need to make sure that I get around persons that are already doing the thing, have mentorship, have coaching, have these things that will help and lead me down the path. Get my credit right, which I'm doing. So the thing is that once you start putting these things together, like your priorities, my priorities right now is to stack my bread so that I can be a better man than what I am right now. I'm not a high value man yet, but I will be. But mentally I am. But currently I'm not. But I'm working towards something that is more and bigger than myself. So we have to always remember, what are our priorities? What are our values? Most of my values, are centered on my family, on my faith, and being able to take care of business above all things. Because my work speaks for me. Without my work, I have absolutely positively nothing. So as a black man in this world, you got to have work to back who you are as a man, because after that, don't nobody care what you think. Don't nobody care about how you do things. I gave another example. As a man, I could come up with a statement saying, look, this is an example, everybody knows this, but they say the grass is always green on the other side, and as long as you get your money right, you can get whatever you want. For me saying that, somebody look at me, oh, please, he ain't got nothing to say. However, when it comes to another person, let's say a Jay-Z or Curtis Jackson or Bill Russell says it. Oh, that's shared. That's seen as legendary or seen as goals. And the reason why my value or my voice isn't valued, because I lack power at this point in time. I lack influence. I lack the amount of resources that they have. Not to say that what I'm saying is incorrect, but the fact that I don't have those type of resources gives me a lower value when it comes to what I say. So, through all these things, as I go back to the final question, what are your priorities? What are your values? What exactly do you want to do with your life? It starts here. It always starts here. But at the end of the day, just like Craig was influenced by his homeboy. And what happened with that whole situation is that he allowed somebody else to dictate what his values and his priorities were versus him figuring out for himself and doing the work for himself. And we have to realize we can allow people to dictate what our priorities are. What should be our priorities? We should understand that our values should be centered around something bigger than ourselves. So as we continue to go through life, we just have to always remember, look, life happens. Things may not happen the way we want to, but we have to make sure that our priorities and our values are aligned. And one is not better than the other. So I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to my brief brief moment of clarity. My beginning of my series. I want you to make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to my page. Just remember, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm not doing this just for me. This is fun for me, but at the same time, it's important to help others throughout their path. So as we go through this COVID thing, as we go through our trial and tribulation together, let's grow as a unit. Peace.